This is Jesus Manuel Menegares. I hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. It's Christmas Day, 2021, and since my family's about 1,700 miles away and most of my friends are 1,700 miles away, I'm not going to be celebrating Christmas in the traditional sense. Hope you're all doing fantastic during the holidays and the New Year 2022. Again, saludos desde Fort Worth, Texas. Feliz Navidad y Prospero Año Nuevo. Today I'm going to be adding side marker cameras, Haloview specific side marker cameras. Again, I would like to thank the very nice folks at Haloview for sending me this for review, especially this modest channel. Very modest channel, they sent them to me. Anyway, again, thank you very much. So let me just show you what my plans are. Again, I had to modify my plan according to my situation. Not every situation is the same. I just wanted to note also, I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm not an electrical technician. I'm not an RV technician. In no way, shape, or form. I should have taken classes in high school for electronics, but I didn't. Like an idiot, I took artsy-fartsy classes and, college level classes and stuff like that. Not too smart, okay? So let me turn around the camera and we'll start this little adventure installing my Haloview side marker cameras. Thank you very much. So there's the back of my Rockwood Mini Lite. I already installed the backup camera. Those more complex than I thought. In retrospect, if I knew what I knew after I did it, it could have been 1,000 times easier. But you know, I don't have anybody here to help me out. So again, this is a new Rockwood 2205S Mini Lite. It's I picked it up about last week from Shipshewana, Indiana, from the folks at Wana RV. So one of the issues a lot of people might encounter is that the lens, where you take this out and you replace it with the side marker cameras, can get smashed because the cameras come out quite a ways. So I determined that if I go up about 2 inches and go left about 3/4 of an inch, that's a center where I can drill a hole that's perfect to pass through those 4 wires that go through it. So I stick 4 wires through that hole, and I'll do that on both sides. And that's the only hole that I really need, a little hole there. And then so again, let me show you my little artwork again. There's the docking lights, and there we go. Okay, so here's one of the side marker cameras. I have left and right. So this hole in the back, it's flat. These wires have to go through a hole, and it has to be centered pretty much right about here. So I put it right about there. I like symmetry. Symmetry is very important to this artsy-fartsy dude. So I'm going to be going right about there, and that's going to go on both sides. Okay. So there's where the antenna is, and that's where the camera is. Okay. So again, these wires go through a hole, and it's pretty simple. Okay. At least I think it's going to be simple. Okay. So I have some very basic tools, some T-taps, connectors, screwdrivers, T-square, another camera. Let me get and a pencil, some screws. Okay. So let me show you the back end. Right there is the for the lights, the docking lights, whatever you call them, and that's where the side marker camera passes through a hole, and my hole is going to be about another 2 inches above it, so it's going to have plenty of room for that situation. The black and white lines, I'm going to be getting power from them via a T-tap, and a T-tap is right here. These are just basically connectors that snap into place. For an idiot like me, it's absolutely perfect, okay? So there's my setup. Wish me a lot of luck, okay? Thank you very much. One thing I noticed is that the cameras can't go here because they'll get bashed. So here's the camera. If it was there, it'd get bashed. So what I did for the camera is I figured out the center hole for the camera would go right here, and it would raise it a certain height, which is perfect. So again, let me get the camera, and it should go right about there. Is that a good position? What do you think? Of course, it has the antenna on the top and the lens in the front and the reflector there. Pretty straightforward. So I got to drill a hole right there. Here's my other stuff. And the power is those two black and white, you know, negative and positive lines. And of course, right below it is the lights for the front of the RV. You know, when you're hooking up and stuff like that, you can turn on those lights. I did take off this panel. It was right about here. And I moved it, and there's another panel on the other side that I moved over there. Notice this is up about an inch. It's about an inch. But if you go on the other side, it's only up about a quarter inch. So I actually have to raise it a little bit higher, the point where I'm going to drill. So instead of right here, I had to raise it up to right about there. So the folks at Rockwood, Flagstaff, they determined this could go lower for some bizarre reason. And there's my other light, and I created a jig. And again, this is I took out this tiny panel that goes right here, and there's plenty of room back here. I have my tools on the back of the truck. I have a drill. This is the bit I decided to use to drill the holes, so for all those lines. And I used a T-square, of course, and stuff like that to come up with these dimensions. So first I'm going to drill a pilot hole, then I'm going to use the see how that works out. So there's the hole. I'm going to tap into the black and white, see how that works out. The instructions say that you only need 2 screws, so I put one here, one there, and they came with the kit. It comes with 3 LEDs. Works pretty good. Let me get the cap. Snaps right there. Screwdriver goes here to loosen it up. So it does clear the area there. And I just reused the little crimps. I uncrimped them, straightened them out as much as I could. Should have bought some new ones, but don't have them right now. And I taped everything so they all align. I taped the positive and the negative, and they align the copper strands. So when I stuck it in there, they worked perfectly. I almost forgot to caulk certain parts of this side marker camera install. It's the next day, and it's moist, and there's a little bit of dew on the side marker camera. So first I'm going to dry it off a tiny bit. As you can see, there's still these pencil marks. So I only need to dry this little segment here. Move this back a little bit. And that should do it. I just need to dry that section. Next, I have to take off the lens. Pops off rather readily. And I could back off these screws and add a little caulk behind them, which I'll do in this case just for fun. Let me see how this works out. Let's give it a try. Don't want it too tight so it strips. Let me add a bit caulk there. A bit more caulk. You can never add too much caulk. Let's do the other side too. Loosen it up to the point where you can have a little bit of access back there. Let me push it back, stick some caulk back there. Next, screw it all in there. Perfect. Add a bit more caulk. And put the lens back. Next I'm going to seal up here. I was thinking about using this StormGuard Red Devil sealant, but it's not exactly, it gets a bit gummy, a little chunky, but I'll give it a try. I don't really like it that much. Doesn't run as smooth as that white stuff. The all-weather pro stuff. This is much more smooth. This stuff is a bit gunky. So let me move this back. Move it over a little bit with my finger here. So it pushes it into spot. Use a little cloth here to clean it up. And we'll pause this video and show you how it looks after I did more cleanup. So I did a bit more cleanup. It looks a little bit better. Not great. So if you come by my RV, make sure not to look at the signal, the side marker lights. Don't do too close of an inspection. It's an A+ work. It's about a C work. I give it a C. Again, if you have any comments regarding my install, feel free to leave your comments below. And I'd greatly appreciate reading them and seeing what you think of my modest install. Let me see if I can clean up this little pencil mark down here. Got most of it. Clean that up right there. What happened there is the pencil mark went into the caulking of the lens below it, and of course the folks at Flagstaff Rockwood left some of their clear sealant here and there. So they're not perfect. The folks at Rockwood Flagstaff. They try their best building these travel trailers. The Rockwood comes with this easily lost little cover for the 12-volt shutoff. Goes right over here. Twist it until it clicks. And there you are. So as you can see, the LED lights are on. Everything's working copacetic. And the camera's right here, and I can adjust it whatever way I want. Right about there should do it. And maybe just one notch. So there's my backup camera. That was a very successful install, I thought. Of course, a lot of you out there have better skills than I do, and you would do an absolutely fabulous job installing one of these Haloview backup cameras. Let me show you the side marker cameras. Let me get down from my ladder. Again, this is my Rockwood Mini Lite 2205S. So there's the other camera, the side marker camera. Again, when I open the door, it won't slam into it. That was my main interest in doing this. Again, when I close that door, it's not going to slam the camera. Always a good thing. Same on the other side. So here's a shot of the install. I think I aligned them pretty good. Camera's in a good position. Everything worked out. The door is not going to slam into the camera and destroy it. We'll see how that works out. So the project is completed. I give it a good solid grade. I'm not going to tell you my grade. I'm very harsh on myself. Okay, some of the issues that I had in the install that you can avoid. First of all, the wires before sticking them through the little small hole, which is just a little bit bigger than the wires, is I would recommend soldering them, because there's one very thin, super delicate wire, and it attaches to a thicker wire and sort of gets lost and sort of gets abraded, falls apart after a while. So I had some issues with that. That may be the cause of why my driver's side camera is not working at this time. There may be various issues for why that's happening. Maybe that wire got loose, maybe even got broken. Might have to take this whole thing apart and see where it might be broken and reattach it or solder it. Or I may have made a mistake in regards to connecting it via Bluetooth to the monitor. That could be a problem, because I did get a signal for a while at the start. And then that's before I put the screws in. I did check to see if it actually got a signal before I screwed it in. Another thing I would recommend is adding a little bit of caulk before you stick in the screws. Again, this travel trailer is fiberglass, Asdel, and then it has a polystyrene foam, that block foam insulation, some type of block foam insulation. And then on the other side has that decorative Asdel on the inside. So there shouldn't be any major issues with delamination. I can't even say it. Delamination with this install. Again, I did put some caulking in the screws, and the last few threads before I screwed in, and I did caulk with some clear caulk over the top, so there should not be any issues. And also, there's a foam backing to the cameras, so that should also eliminate a lot of issues regarding possible water intrusion. Okay. So what I also didn't like, because I'm 70 years old, I'm going on 70 years old in 2022, is that I had to contort in there to do my little screwdriver and stuff. And so, this old dude does not like being contorted anymore. When I was younger, I could contort pretty good, but now as I'm getting older, it's a bit painful. So I did not like that I had to contort to assemble all these wires. I originally tried one system of connecting the wires and didn't like that, so eventually I tried another system. I used the old caps. Again, the little caps for connecting the wires together, I should have bought some new ones. In fact, maybe I might just yank those off and put on some new ones and replace them. That's a relatively simple process. So I hope you like this install. If you have any questions, comments, there's probably a lot of suggestions out there. A lot of folks out there who can do this a lot better. Some of you folks actually took shop in high school. I did not. I took those stupid, again, artsy-fartsy class. I took painting. I took serigraphy. And I took a hell of a lot of photography. And I enjoyed myself. In college taking those classes too. But in retrospect, I should have taken a couple classes in technology, how to do things with electronics and stuff like that. You only can get so much from a YouTube video, just saying, okay? So from Fort Worth, Texas, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank all my new Patreon subscribers. Again, I greatly appreciate my Patreon benefactors. Please leave your kind and super friendly comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. From Fort Worth, Texas, installing an excellent Haloview camera system. Again, if there's any issues with the Haloview camera system, it's probably mine. This idiot here, okay? You can probably do 10 times better, especially if you just solder those little wires, use better crimps, and just take your time. But at least I gave you an idea for a location and how to drill a hole through the fiberglass, Asdel, foam block, and the decorative Asdel in the interior. That's an idea you can take to the bank, can't you? From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Hope you're going to have a fantastic new year. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.